Hello and welcome back to another video, and today we're here for another episode of Can We Beat the Poll Time. Now, I do apologise that it is a week after the time was actually set that we are recording this video, but I have been busy over the last couple of weeks. I was away for work last week and I've been busy with different things this week, so I do apologise, but I am finally here to try and beat the poll time at Portimao, and I've got slightly higher hopes than I had at the previous round at Qatar that we're going to be able to do this, because the track is relatively new. It's a very new version of Portimao into the game, so it should be pretty accurate. Obviously the Qatar really wasn't too good and we were quite far off. I feel like it'll be a bit more like the pre-season one that we did at Malaysia was, that will be a bit closer to the time, but I guess we will find out as we get into it. So it was actually Enea Bastianini on pole position for the Portuguese Grand Prix with a 1 minute 37.706. So that will be the time for us to beat today. So as always, we'll just give it 10 laps to try and beat the time. And without any further ado, let's get down to the track. So here we are then, coming out of the pit lane in Portimao. And I'm quite looking forward to doing this once again. It is quite a fun challenge trying to push the bike, see what kind of lap time we can get out of it. Of course, like I said, at Qatar, it was a bit more difficult than I had hoped. It just really didn't quite work out the way that I thought it would. The track seemed to be quite badly scaled, and actually, funnily enough, literally basically the day after I put the video up, there was a new version of Qatar released, which was a lot more accurate. Which, yeah, it's just why luck, isn't it, I guess. The mod has also been updated as well. I forgot to mention that. So after the video, the mod was also updated. But to be honest, I think the bikes are now worse than they were previously. I think the bikes actually aren't as good. I think the front end is a bit weaker, which is probably something we'll struggle with. I mean, you've just seen I've taken the wrong turn 5 there. Problem was I've been playing with the newly released BSB mod, which has much better brakes than this mod. I still don't understand why MotoGP bikes, like why this MotoGP mod has such bad brakes. The only thing I can think of is the fact that the bikes are just too fast because they haven't been made correctly. And the way to make the lap time sort of work is just to reduce brake power, because you have to brake earlier, and it brings the lap time back down to a sort of respectable level. If you, let's say you were 10% too fast, and then you brought the brake pressure down by 10%, you kind of expect the lap times to start to sort of closing up again a little bit. So that's probably what they've done, but I guess we just have to live with it. Hopefully there'll be a MotoGP 24 mod. It's a little bit better that we could try at some point, but as of right now, I haven't seen any in development. But either way, we've made it round our first out lap, which is not usually the achievement, but to be fair, if you look at the last couple of videos, it probably is. Talk towards the line, got to try not to wheel it over the crest too much, over the line. Starting our first flying lap. So into turn 1, the back end, it's squirmed quite a bit. We're definitely going to miss the apex here. We've ran a bit wide, not the best run through turn 1, because you want to hit that apex really nice and carry the speed through. It'll be tricky to get stopped to this hairpin. I actually tried to brake a bit conservatively, but still miss the apex a touch. See the bike spinning up. I've got the traction control down on 14. I think it does actually maybe got to 15? Yeah, it does, so we'll put it up at one more. Because this bike, again, it's one of the most wheel spinny bikes in the game. It's a very strange mod, it must be said, this one. It's very much unlike a lot of the other ones, which I guess MotoGP bikes are very different to the other ones, to other bikes, super bikes mainly, are what the mods are for this game, which is ironic. Oh, so the game's called GP Bikes, and we've hit the deck, so that is lap 1 over. But to be honest, wasn't the best lap up until that point, but even still, that is a bit of a confidence sapper into that uphill right-hander, because we're going to have to take a lot of risk in there, I think, as we get through these laps and we try and get closer to that 37. But yeah, as I was saying, this I know I basically spend most of the video talking about the mod, but I guess that's kind of all I can talk about. This little AI on the track I'm battling with. I guess we could talk about the real-life race a little bit. Obviously, it was about a week ago now, but they're both pretty good. The sprint race, obviously, was fantastic to see Vinales finally win on the Aprilia, but the main race was really where the drama kicked off, obviously, with Marquez and Bagnaia. So do let me know in the comments, guys, whose fault do you think it was? Because it seems to be a bit of a divide. I think most people seem to be thinking it's Bagnaia's fault, but I have seen a bit of a divide on social media. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and possibly why you think the other rider's at fault, or who's at fault. Bit down towards turn 1 then, the bit of a stoppy. Again, somewhere a little bit down on the time, but I think we should get it all back on the exit. Actually, not really, to be honest. So, even though I thought turn 1 was a bit dodgy, on the previous lap it was better, apparently. Well, turn 2 certainly wasn't, because that was another front ender. So that's 2 laps down already. This is what I mean about it being so difficult, and this is what I meant about the mod being updated and the bike actually being a bit worse now. I don't think we lost the front a lot on the brakes previously in the previous version of the mod. But through this last corner once again then, we're 5 seconds underneath our previous time, and of course it is going to still be nowhere. It's going to be a 41, so not a million miles away. So if you take the crash out, we're not too far away, so it's a good sign on that second lap. So scared of losing the front through turn 5 there. Oh, the rear stepped. Oh, no. Come on. We were 3.5 underneath. What would that have given us? We would have been on a 38, I think. 38.2. So we'd have been about half a second off. So we only needed half a second around the rest of the lap, which was probably feasible, in fairness. So we just need to try and replicate that sort of first sector. I mean, half a second off, even that would be good, because in the last episode we were about 3 seconds off. We were absolutely nowhere near a Qatar. It was pretty horrendous. So to see that the lap time is already a lot closer is a positive sign. However, obviously we're having a lot of crashes, and it is going to be tricky to get the bike up to speed. Obviously, it's hard to just jump on the game as well. Obviously, the lap times, there is that, but yeah, this mod is not ideal. I kind of wish that there was a different one I could try, but there's not, unfortunately. But there we go, then that's lap 3. Hopefully, lap 4 will be a little bit better. Already seems to be starting a bit worse with that hop, skip, and a jump through turn 1 there. Although, actually, we've had a decent amount of time, so maybe not so bad. Oh, again, the uphill right-hand of the front just washes out. So I mean, it feels like riding a 2011 Ducati at this point, the front end. Don't mean to keep making excuses, but honestly, it doesn't feel like you've done a lot wrong. Again, the rear broke traction through the previous right-hander, which is putting me off, I think, a little bit as well. Definitely costing a lot of time. There's a couple of tenths in that, because I'm having to roll the throttle, and then I'm on the wrong line, and yeah, if I can just try and keep it to actually stick through the direction change, that would be helpful. But again there, you can see I was even more underneath that to 3.9 in Sector 1. I think that probably would be, you know, that would be really close at that point. So, in fact, that might be about it. That actually, because I think, what, we're like 4 seconds off virtually now, aren't we? So, to be honest, if I can just pretty much hold that to the end, that should be enough. So, we've got the pace this time, so it's a big improvement over Qatar. A massive improvement. Oh, no, come on, that time I tried to pick the bike up a bit more so that we weren't so lent over. Again, it's that right-hander. It's the same corner every lap. It's a bit like, what was it, turn 7 that we kept sort of making a mistake at? Although, to be honest, I'd be as far as to say that's not a mistake. That's, you know, me losing the front there. I'd almost be as far as to say that that's just a flaw than a mistake. So we've got to watch out for that. We're going to have to probably try to pick the bike up a bit excessively through that turn, stop the front end going. Doesn't seem too bad everywhere else, but what a bad time to say that. What bad timing that was. I was about to say, it doesn't seem too bad everywhere else, but I haven't really been pushing through there. But then also at the same time, I don't need to. The time's in Sector 1. I mean, obviously I can't just sort of rest on that. I'm going to have to try and improve everywhere else, but I think the key is going to be to not over push, because if you try and push the bike, you'll just crash. Like, you will 100% just crash, because it just is not predictable. It's not right. You probably need a proper dialed-in setup to get this bike to even remotely work at the moment. I really hope maybe there is an update to address the poor front end. Maybe we'll have to revert to the older version, potentially. It's not really used much online anymore, so I don't need to have the newest version installed necessarily. I thought I was going down then over the hill. I thought I was going down. Through the last corner, coming up towards the line. I don't think it is going to be enough. Up towards the line. What time's that? 38.0. So yeah, we're still going to find 0.3 of a second. We've not got that many laps to do it in, but that's the closest we've been, definitely so far. The time is definitely there. I've just got to find 0.3, which means I've got to push more, which I just don't trust this bike to be able to do. Oh, this time I did crash over the hill. I was trying to be more careful because I was trying not to have the issue that I had in the previous lap where I'd sort of lost the rear. So I tried not to downshift as much, and I think I was just then going too fast to actually make the corner. So there's a bit of a healthy balance. But you can see there was 0.3 almost, 0.25 in Sector 2. I was obviously 0.1 down in Sector 1. So there is more time in the lap, as I was saying before. This is what I mean. This is what I mean about the front end. This is what I mean. It's so bad. I'm not even pushing at that point anymore, really. Like, I've already crashed on the lap. I'm not trying to make the bike go anymore, but it's just, yeah, it's very, very tricky. I know these videos are pretty much turned to be complaining about the MotoGP 23 mod now, but that's pretty much, you know, I like to describe what's going on the bike when I do these kind of videos, and those are my thoughts and feelings, to be honest with you. Oh, okay. That was my mistake. I'll take credit for that one. Well, not credit, but I'll take the blame for that one, I guess. I am actually going to go back up the track and do the last corner again, so it doesn't ruin the run for the next lap. But yeah, went down an extra gear, just trying to get the better turning and the better exit, and it was a gear too low, to be fair. So I was taking the mick. But again, you can see there was time found in the previous sectors, but it was sort of lost again towards the end of the lap, which is not ideal. Did also touch the green at one point, so I'm kind of glad that I didn't beat it on that lap, because I felt a bit bad about it. But also, that is lap 8, so we have 2 more laps. We've got 2 more tries at this, and we've only actually done 1 lap where we've not crashed so far, which again just shows you how tricky it is to ride this bike. Although that was pretty much 2, wasn't it? That was a very silly mistake to make at the end of the lap. Oh, and I've crashed as well. I was about to say I've ran wide, but I then also crashed because I was still trying to pull it down. So there you go. That literally leaves us with 1 last attempt, and we've got gravel on the tyres, which really isn't great. We've got to find, what, just over 0.3 of a second, which is going to be really hard to do. The time is there, but it's just difficult to actually put the whole lap together, because it is quite a technical track, Portimao. There is that to it as well. It's another reason why there's some mistakes going on. It's not like a Austria, for example. It's not quite as technical. It's a very, very tricky track, and lots of mistakes made in real life and things like that as well. But this is the last attempt, and I think I've bottled it already. No, actually made turn 1. Oh, no, we're down. We are down. So that is it then, guys. Just yet again, we're unable to beat the time, and that is frustrating because we're ever so close, ever so close. That would put us a pretty decent position on the grid, I would have thought, for this race. I'm not sure exactly where, but 0.3 off pole. That's Q2. I'd say that's Q2 territory, probably in front of the Yamahas, I'd say. It's a shame. It's a shame we weren't quite in the 37s, to be honest with you. I'm almost tempted to have one more crack at it, just to have a look, just to have a see, because the pressure's sort of off. I don't have to beat it. We can maybe ride a bit more free, but to be honest, I'm having some issues with the bike. I might just whack the anti-wheelie up as well, because we had a couple of wheelies there which cost us a little bit of time over some of these crests. I know I'm technically breaking the rules by going for another lap here, but even still, I just want to see, can we get any closer, because we're so scintillatingly close. Oh, no. Down we go. Okay, fair enough. We will call it a day there. So unfortunately, I'm really kind of feeling a bit rubbish now at this game, because this series is kind of supposed to be like, can we beat the time? And it should be one of those things where we are beating it sometimes. So far, 0 for 2. So yeah, it's not ideal, but it is tricky. I'm hoping maybe some of the easier circuits are able to get close Austin, which is next, will be very, very difficult because it's obviously such a difficult track. There's some little bugs on that track as well with some of the corners as well. Turn 2, you'll just sort of lose the rate. It'll come around on you for like no reason, basically. So we'll have to watch out for that one. Maybe 10 laps isn't enough. Maybe I'll have to change the rules to allow myself like 5 laps on a run and then maybe come back to the pits and new tyres or something. I don't know, but I feel like maybe the 10 laps it's maybe not quite enough to get right onto the limit. But if you have got the game, guys, go and give it a try yourselves with the MotoGP 23 mod and Portimao. Do try and use the stock setup as well. That's what I've used, but obviously if you want to change it, then do let me know. And also let me know what time you managed to achieve. I'm sure some of you guys will be way quicker than me. I'm not the fastest guy in this game by all means, but or by any means, should I say. But I'm fairly decent, so that's why I like to give this challenge a bit of a go. But if you are new to the channel, please do like the video and subscribe because it really does help me out, and of course it is a win-win for both of us as you get more bike game racing content in your subscription feed. But I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, hope you'll stay safe, and I shall see you in the next one.